Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders find themselves staring down a familiar yet pressing issue, one that could define the early months of their 2025 season, a serious lack of depth in the wide receiver room. While the spotlight always tends to shine on star wideout Terry McLaurin, the bigger storyline unfolding at training camp and joint practices is the glaring reality that Washington's receiving core might not be nearly as strong as it appeared during early camp drills. This deficiency is inadvertently giving McLaurin more leverage than he's ever had, despite not being physically present at camp. Historically, the Commanders have held all the cards when it comes to McLaurin. He's been a loyal all-pro who doesn't make noise in the media and just performs. Financially, he has no real wiggle room. He's under contract, not a free agent, and not in a holdout position. But the more practices unfold without him, the more obvious it becomes just how much his presence means to this offense. Training camp always brings his fair share of optimism. Coaches rave about breakout candidates. Players flash during 7-on-7s, and social media feeds flood with highlight catches that barely matter when the pads come on. But when the Commanders lined up across from the New England Patriots in a joint practice, the mood shifted quickly. Suddenly, all that summer hype around the wide receiver depth was put under the microscope, and cracks started to show. Outside of Deebo Samuel, who has looked phenomenal since arriving in Washington, nobody has strung together consistent performances. Samuel has taken full advantage of McLaurin's absence, making play after play and clearly emerging as a number one option in camp. His timing with quarterback Jayden Daniels looks polished and efficient. Yet beyond Samuel, there's been an uncomfortable silence from the rest of the unit. Flashes, yes, but no sustained reliability. That reality poses a massive problem for a team trying to support its young star quarterback. Daniels, for all his talent, can't do it alone. And while Deebo Samuel may be a godsend for him this offseason, it's clear he needs more help on the outside. Tight end Zach Ertz has been a steady and reliable target throughout camp, and their chemistry from last season has carried over. Having Ertz as a security blanket is undoubtedly a boost for a young quarterback learning how to handle NFL pressure. But your tight end can be the second best weapon in your passing game if you want to compete in a loaded NFC East. Then there's Austin Ekeler, the veteran running back who continues to rack up targets and receptions. It's admirable, but it also highlights the issue. Ekeler shouldn't be one of your top 3 receiving threats. The fact that he is says more about the underperformance of the actual wide receivers than it does about Ekeler's capabilities. Last, year's production numbers already show troubling signs, with both Dyami Brown and rookie Luke McCaffrey falling well short of expectations. The coaching staff hoped this offseason would bring a leap in development, especially for McCaffrey, who was drafted with the intention of being a long-term contributor. So far, he's shown incremental progress, but not nearly enough to suggest he's ready for a starting role. Jalen Lane, a new face in the room, has arguably the highest upside on the team. He has raw athleticism, quickness in space, and a knack for finding soft spots in coverage. However, like McCaffrey, his ability to translate those traits into consistent production on Sundays is still a massive question mark. Until someone in this young group steps up in a meaningful way, it's impossible to ignore the hole McLaurin's absence leaves in the offense. Meanwhile, undrafted rookie Ja'Cory Brooks is making a quiet but intriguing case to stick on the final 53-man roster. Once a 5-star recruit at Alabama, Brooks never got the opportunity to shine in a crowded Crimson Tide depth chart. But after transferring to Louisville, he delivered a breakout campaign, tallying over 1,000 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns. In his lone season there, that production is hard to ignore, and he's turned heads in limited reps during camp. His size, catch radius, and red zone ability give him a different profile than other receivers on the team. Still, asking an undrafted rookie to be a major contributor in year 1 is risky business, no matter how talented he might be. Brooks is a long-term project at best, and unless injuries force the team's hand, his role will likely remain limited. But the mere fact that he's being discussed as a possible solution shows how thin things are getting. The veteran group hasn't fared much better. Head coach Dan Quinn has mentioned Chris Moore and KJ Osborne as players who arrived late last season and finally had a full offseason to absorb the playbook. While both have been serviceable in drills, neither has shown the explosiveness or consistency required to claim a major role. Michael Gallup's comeback story is worth rooting for. He was once a 1,000-yard receiver, but coming out of retirement and returning to NFL shape is no small feat. His performance so far has been more nostalgic than promising. These veterans bring experience, which the room sorely needs, but none of them have emerged as true difference makers. And with the regular season looming closer each day, the Commanders' coaching staff is running out of time to find solutions. The revolving door at wide receiver might soon become the team's Achilles heel. What makes all of this even more interesting is how it affects the team's negotiations, or lack thereof, with McLaurin. Though he isn't demanding a new contract or threatening a holdout, every quiet practice and every unimpressive preseason performance by his would-be replacements increases his value in a way no agent could script. The Commanders may have held the leverage on paper, but on the field, that dynamic is shifting fast. McLaurin's absence has become a glaring reminder of how essential he is to the offensive structure. He's not just a star player. He's the gravitational force that gives the entire wide receiver group direction. Without him, the offense looks lost in space, floating without a true identity. The Commanders need to be careful not to underestimate what they have in McLaurin until it's too late. Sometimes you don't realize the value of something until it's no longer around. There's still time to correct course, but the clock is ticking. With 3 preseason games ahead, Washington's front office and coaching staff will be watching the receiving unit closely, searching for any sign of breakout potential. These games will carry more weight than usual, not just for evaluating talent, but for potentially reshaping the team's approach to McLaurin. If the wide receiver room struggles to produce in live action, the leverage McLaurin holds will skyrocket. It's one thing to flash in practice. It's another to execute against NFL competition. And if Daniels finds himself scrambling for reliable targets during those games, the calls to bring McLaurin back into the fold will only get louder. At that point, the Commanders might have to reevaluate how indispensable their star receiver truly is. Because right now, there's no one else on the roster capable of doing what McLaurin does, week in and week out. While it's easy to point fingers at the front office or question the scouting department's evaluations, the solution may be as simple as looking backward instead of forward, reintegrating McLaurin and giving him the respect he's earned both financially and within the offensive scheme could be the difference between a competitive season and one plagued by missed opportunities. Daniels, for all his growth and leadership, shouldn't be expected to shoulder this burden alone. Supporting your franchise quarterback means surrounding him with playmakers, not asking him to manufacture offense with a depleted arsenal. Debo. Samuel can't do it by himself, and neither can Ekeler, Ertz, or any of the rookies just yet. The Commanders need to act fast before this issue snowballs into a crisis. And in doing so, they might finally admit what's been obvious all along. Terry McLaurin isn't just another wide receiver. He's the heartbeat of this offense. Ultimately, this situation says more about Washington's organizational philosophy than any one player. Are they a franchise that rewards loyalty and production, or do they gamble on unknowns while sidelining their stars? The answer could define not just their 2025 season, but the trajectory of the franchise moving forward. With McLaurin watching from the sidelines, every underthrown ball, every dropped pass, and every missed opportunity in preseason will echo louder than usual. The fans see it, the players feel it, and the media is already talking. The Commanders can still get ahead of this story, but it will require humility, urgency, and a clear recognition of who truly makes this offense go. Because right now, the problem is clear. And ironically, the solution has been standing right in front of them all along. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. There's a buzz stirring in the NFL universe, especially around Washington, D.C., where whispers of a blockbuster deal have fans and analysts alike buzzing with excitement and speculation. Brian Robinson Jr., the rising star running back whose name has been on everyone's lips, is rumored to have inked a monumental contract with the Washington Commanders. Word on the street suggests that this isn't just any contract. It's a staggering $400 million deal, a number that's sending shockwaves through the league. If true, this move would not only solidify Robinson's place as one of the highest paid running backs in NFL history, but also mark a defining moment for the Commanders franchise. Sources hint that the deal reflects a deep commitment from both sides, with Robinson reportedly declaring, "I'm here for good," signaling his intention to stay and lead the team for years to come. This rumor, if it turns out to be fact, could reshape the dynamics of the team and the league itself. The implications of Robinson's potential $400 million deal extend far beyond mere numbers. This rumored contract, potentially the largest ever for a running back, could redefine the market value of players in that position, signaling a shift in how franchises prioritize talent and invest in their key playmakers. Washington Commander, a team that has been searching for consistency and star power, might finally be stepping up to stake their claim in the NFL's elite circles by locking down their young star. The rumor mill suggests that this deal isn't just about the money, it's about trust, leadership, and a vision for the future. If Robinson has indeed declared he plans to stay forever, it hints at a deep loyalty and a shared belief between the player and the franchise. Fans are already imagining a new era of Commanders football, one anchored by a powerhouse back with a monumental contract. Some insiders speculate that this rumored deal might come with some unique clauses and incentives that could make it even more lucrative and impactful. The $400 million figure, while headline grabbing, might include performance bonuses, community engagement incentives, and potentially even a role in franchise leadership beyond the field. Brian Robinson Jr., known not just for his explosive runs, but also his strong character and community involvement, could be positioned as more than just a player. The Commanders might be aiming to build around him as a franchise icon, which aligns with the whispers that he's committed to staying forever. If these rumors hold water, we could see a new model for NFL contracts where players become ambassadors and cornerstone figures, shaping not only game plans, but also the culture and identity of the team. It's a fascinating prospect that fans and experts are eager to see unfold. The timing of this rumored deal also adds another layer of intrigue to the story, coming at a moment when the Commanders have been actively reshaping their roster and front office. Locking in a key piece like Robinson could be a strategic move, signaling bigger plans ahead. The NFL is in a period of flux with new coaching styles, shifts in team philosophies, and evolving player empowerment. Robinson's potential commitment, coupled with this massive contract, might be the Commanders' way of announcing they are ready to compete at the highest level for years to come. Speculation abounds that the deal could be part of a broader strategy to attract other top-tier talent and foster a winning culture in the capital. This could be just the first domino to fall in what might become a major franchise rebuild centered around Robinson's explosive talent. While the rumored $400 million contract is dominating headlines, it's worth considering what this means for Robinson personally and professionally. The whispers around his statement suggest a player deeply rooted in Washington now, someone who sees his future in the city and with the franchise. This sort of loyalty isn't always easy to come by in today's professional sports landscape, where players often chase the highest bidder or the biggest markets. Robinson's purported commitment to stay forever indicates a personal connection and belief in the Commander's vision, potentially making him a fan favorite and a community figure for years to come. The story, if true, blends financial success with personal fulfillment, painting a picture of an athlete who is both thriving on the field and off it, creating a lasting legacy in Washington, D.C. From a broader NFL perspective, the rumored deal could have ripple effects across the league's player market. Other franchises might feel pressured to reevaluate how they compensate their own star running backs, potentially igniting a new wave of contract negotiations and escalations. The Commanders' bold move, if confirmed, could reset the financial expectations for players at Robinson's position and beyond, influencing team salary caps and player negotiations league-wide. Additionally, this could signal a shift in how franchises prioritize long-term commitments valuing stability and player loyalty in an era where free agency dominates headlines. As analysts dissect the details, fans and insiders alike are eagerly watching to see if this rumor is the start of a new trend or an isolated gamble by a franchise betting big on a single player's potential and promise. There's also a cultural and emotional narrative attached to this rumor that resonates with many fans. Brian Robinson Jr., whose journey and playing style have captured hearts, might become a symbol of resilience and dedication for the Commanders and their supporters. The rumored commitment to stay forever elevates him beyond the field to a kind of franchise legend status. Stories like these, where a player and team forge a bond that transcends contracts and statistics, are rare and powerful. The suggestion that Robinson has made a lifelong pledge to the Commanders injects a heartfelt element into the business-driven world of professional sports. This narrative could help unify fans, boost ticket sales, and galvanize the community around a shared hero and a renewed hope for the team's future success. Behind the scenes, the negotiation process of such a mammoth contract must have been complex and intense, and rumor has it that multiple parties were involved in ensuring this deal came to fruition. From agents to team executives, the layers of discussion back and forth and strategic planning required to reach an agreement of this magnitude are enormous. Insiders suggest that the Commanders' front office showed tremendous patience and commitment to accommodate Robinson's needs and vision. The potential deal also reflects the trust between player and organization, highlighting a rare harmony in NFL negotiations where both sides emerge feeling victorious. Such rumors fuel the intrigue and anticipation surrounding the Commanders' next steps, hinting at a team ready to back their player, not only financially but also in the support and resources necessary to elevate his career. One can't ignore the potential impact this rumored deal might have on the Commanders' locker room and team dynamics. Securing a franchise player like Brian Robinson Jr. with a historic contract could shift power balances, influence team morale, and inspire younger players. The whispers suggest that Robinson is seen not just as a top talent, but as a leader capable of mentoring emerging stars and helping build a winning culture. Such a deal might create a sense of stability and ambition within the team, fostering a collective mindset geared toward championship aspirations. However, there's also speculation about the challenges this could pose, as massive contracts sometimes breed expectations and pressures that could affect team chemistry. How the Commanders manage this dynamic will be key to turning rumor into lasting success. Finally, while all these rumors swirl with excitement and bold claims, the NFL community eagerly awaits official confirmation from the Commanders' Brian Robinson Jr. themselves. The buzz around this $400 million deal and Robinson's vow to stay forever has already captured imaginations and sparked intense debates across social media, sports shows, and fan forums. If confirmed, this story will mark a historic chapter in NFL contract history and a defining moment for the Washington Commanders franchise. Until then, speculation continues to grow, and fans can only dream about what this could mean for the future of the team, the player, and the league. One thing's for sure, the rumor has already changed the conversation, placing Brian Robinson Jr. at the very center of the NFL's evolving landscape. Thanks for tuning in to District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.